Did you know that 11 million Americans are caring for a family member or a friend living with Alzheimer's disease, and nearly 60% of them report feeling more emotional and physical stress from being a caregiver? Do you know the warning signs of caregiver stress and burnout? Stay tuned for today's episode to learn about the 10 warning signs of caregiver stress and some tips for how to manage it and to take care of yourself too. Welcome back to This Is Getting Old, Moving Towards an Age-Friendly World. I'm Dr. Melissa Batchelor, and I am a nurse practitioner, and I wear a lot of different hats in my work, including hosting this weekly podcast to bring you news and information on aging, caring for someone living with Alzheimer's disease, and a wide range of topics that I hope will help move us towards becoming an age-friendly world. Because when things are age-friendly, they're friendly for everyone. So if you like the podcast, the best way to help me grow and support the podcast is to like it, share it, and leave a review in whatever platform you've tuned in on today. Because no matter how old you are today, we are all aging, and these issues are going to become increasingly important. If you're a millennial, there are things that need to be in place when you reach the age of 65. So we have about 20 to 25 years to get these things in place to help you age with the support and choices that will help you, just like the people that are 65 today. Your likes, shares, and reviews help get the information out to help more people dealing with these issues. But right now, let's get going on this week's episode. Now let's dive into this week's episode, where I'll be talking about Alzheimer's disease and the 10 warning signs of caregiver stress. 11 million Americans are caring for a family member or a friend who's living with Alzheimer's disease, and nearly 60% of them report feeling more emotional or physical stress just from being a caregiver. This stress can take a toll on your health. It can increase your risk for negative health problems, including a weaker immune system, high blood pressure or heart disease, poor sleep, and it can even impact your own memory and thinking. While caring for a person living with Alzheimer's disease can be very rewarding, it can also be stressful. On the positive side, you may feel a sense of accomplishment and a sense of purpose, but on the negative side, you may be feeling tired, discouraged, angry, sad, guilty, ambivalent, or even grief. And all of these are normal feelings that you may feel, but these feelings can also be overwhelming and almost constant, and you may feel a huge burden. And this is known as caregiver stress. And there are 3 different types of caregiver stress. There's role strain, which is your role within that relationship, whether it's a spouse, adult child, grandchild. There's also personal strain. There might be things going on in your own life that are impacting your ability to take care of that other person. Or you could just be worried about whether or not you're doing all the right things. So one of the most difficult things about being a caregiver is that you may feel isolated or really just kind of cut off from the outside world, because so much of your time and energy is being spent taking care of this person that you may not be taking care of yourself. So let's talk about the 10 warning signs that you may need that may indicate that you need to seek more outside support. So if you answer yes to one or more of these questions, I urge you to start looking now for ways to get help. And at the end of today's episode, I will share some tips for how to do this. So here are the 10 questions to ask yourself with just a yes or a no answer. Number 1, do you feel sad and depressed, so much so that you can't get through your day? Do you lie awake at night worrying? Are you losing weight or gaining weight? Do you feel isolated and alone with your problem? Are you drinking too much? Are you taking pills to get through your day? Are you drinking too much coffee? Are you screaming and crying too much? Are you having thoughts about hurting yourself or the person you're caring for? And lastly, do you feel like you are out of control of your situation or at the end of your rope? If you answered yes to any of these questions, coping with these feelings may require reaching out to family and friends for help, or you may need professional help. So stay tuned, and when I come back, I will share some tips and resources to help you find the answers that you need. More than 11 million Americans are providing care to either a family or friend who's living with Alzheimer's disease, and nearly 60% of these caregivers are experiencing high physical or emotional stress, but you don't have to do this alone. Visit my website at MelissaBPhD.com and learn more about a new support group that I'm starting called Caring and Sharing with MelissaBPhD. This group will meet once a week with me. You will have access to a members-only library full of resources and practical tips to help you on your caregiving journey, and you'll have peer-to-peer support in a private Facebook group that I will oversee to make sure that the information you're getting is trustworthy. So hope to see you at an information session, and I'm looking forward to working with you very soon. So welcome back. Now what we're going to do is talk about what you can do if you answered yes to any of those 10 questions, because the best thing that you can do as a caregiver is to take care of yourself. One of the things they taught us in nursing school was that if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of other people. So now let's go over some ways that you can take care of yourself. Number one, get professional help. Getting professional help is absolutely necessary if your biggest challenges are with your own mental health or substance misuse or abuse, or if you're having feelings of self-harm or hurting anyone else. Number two, I recommend creating a care partner team. So what this means is basically you can make a list of how other people can help you, from taking the person with Alzheimer's disease on a daily walk, just to give you a little bit of breathing room. Maybe they can make a meal for you. Maybe they could help arrange or take somebody to a medical appointment, or maybe they can do things around the house. After you have this list, think through all of your family and friends and share this list with them, and then let them choose how they might be able to best help you. Because the more people you have on your care partner team, the easier it's going to be for you. Number three, find a support group. And this is going to be best if you're in a support group with other caregivers who are going through the same thing that you're doing, because they know what you're dealing with. They can help you learn coping skills or teach you about caregiving. They can cheer you on. They can help you solve problems, and they might even turn into new friends. Number four, take care of your own health. The way you can do this is make sure that you're getting enough sleep, that you're eating well, that you're taking the time every day to exercise, and that you're drinking plenty of water. You also want to create opportunities for your own me time. And this would definitely be something I would include in that list when you're forming your care partnership team. You can also practice relaxation techniques like meditation or breathing exercises for 5 to 10 minutes a day. And lastly, look for resources. If you're still working, you can look into resources that your employee assistance program may offer you. But you can also look for caregiving services in your areas, such as rides, housing, house cleaning, meal delivery programs. And the National Elder Care Locator is another great resource. You can locate that online at eldercare.acl.gov. And you can Google Area Agency on Aging to find your local agency. These resources are available to help you learn more about services in your area. So thank you for listening to today's episode. The biggest thing to remember is that you are not alone on your caregiving journey. I hope that these questions to identify caregiver stress and the tips for how to manage them have been helpful. And you can also visit my website at MelissaBPhD.com or check out my other podcast to learn more about Alzheimer's disease and caregiving. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. You can check out other episodes on this platform or visit my website at MelissaBPhD.com. Thanks to listeners like you, in the first 18 months of This Is Getting Old, we have reached a ranking of top 10% globally, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your support in making that happen. I'm also really excited to let you know that you can now work with me directly, either one-on-one or you can join one of the groups that I coach. Particularly if you're an adult child dealing with an aging parent or a caregiver trying to manage the complexities of someone living with Alzheimer's disease. In the show notes, you can also find information about how to reach out and contact me directly, and I hope to work with each of you very soon as we discover and share more ways to make the world more age-friendly for everyone. My website also has information about how to contact me for speaking engagements, or if you have someone you'd like to recommend as a show guest for This Is Getting Old. If you have a product or service in the aging space that you would like to advertise and or sponsor an episode, there's more information about that on my website. And you can also find books and courses that I developed and learn more about the products and services that I recommend. So don't forget, if you like the podcast, the best way to help me grow and support it is to like it, share it, and leave a review in whatever platform that you've tuned in on today. Your likes, shares, and reviews help increase my rating and my rankings, and also help other people find the podcast. I look forward to reading your reviews and hearing from you.